the doctor started talking to me, and then I was like, I think it's no blow. All right, so sorry, I'm trying to warm it up. So technically, room temperature insulin is what they like you to put into the pod.
Okay.
I've done it where it was cold, and it's been fun.
I know that's okay.
But yes, it has to be, they say room temperature, okay? So whenever you fill up a pod and you set this device up, this needs to be within 5 feet of this, okay? It's just the way it reads. Now I'll tell you, whenever you want to bolus, correct for blood sugar or bolus, you need to be within 5 feet. But, you're going to have this on, obviously. But this needs to be within 5 feet of this.
Okay.
Don't do it and then throw it and then walk away. You'll want to hear, and I believe this new one, because I have the old one. My old one, it goes beep beep. It makes a beeping noise and lets you know. But we'll see when we set this up, the noise that it makes. So just remember 5 feet. This needs to be within 200 maximum. Minimum is 85. So just think about this. So you have 75. Why don't we do this? Since I'm giving you this vial, let's just put 200 in.
Okay.
And then you'll be able to see after 3 days how much you have left, and that will kind of give you an average.
Okay.
And I always tell people, have at least 10 or 15 units extra. And I know that sounds like
just
a lot.
Case, yeah.
Because things happen. You can't predict 3 days from now. I'm sure graduation parties, this and that, where you're going to be eating more or whatever. You need to be able to have that in there. It's way better to have a little bit extra than go, oh, I got to change my pod. I got to put a new one on. It's just.
Yeah.
All right. So you want me to take this off?
Yeah, sure. That's fine.
It's not mine, so I didn't take it off. All right. So look, when you turn it on, that's what it says.
Okay.
Okay. And then you swipe like that, and then go ahead and put your.
Once he uses, let's say that we do not use the whole vial.
We have to be careful not to drop that too.
We have to go ahead. It's okay if it's in room temperature to put it back in the refrigerator.
So no, once you break this seal, it's good for a month outside the fridge at room temperature.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And that's the same thing with pins.
Yeah, it's like
Okay.
So
Okay.
And a lot of people make that mistake that they put back in the fridge here, and it actually the potency of the insulin, it messes up the potency, makes it less potent.
Okay.
That's actually what I told. There was another diabetic. Oh, sorry, turn it off.
I'm gonna fix that setting too, because it's gonna shut off like
the screen timeout.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's another diabetic kid at my school that would continuously just put it back into the
Type
fridge.
1 or 2?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know.
All right. So set up a new pod. So you just turn on the screen. So set up a new pod. No active pod. Okay. Set up a new pod. So this says fill new pod with insulin. Listen for 2 beeps. So see, it still does.
So after I take off my pod, will it instantly just go back to no active pod?
No. So we'll talk about that
Okay.
when we go into the settings about changing a pod.
Okay.
So you can see 285. Okay. Comes like this. Needle. Twisting on the top like that. And if we're gonna do 200, okay? So this is what I tell people. You don't have to do this, but it does help with bubbles. If you put 200 units of air inside the vial. So,
okay.
you don't have to clean this right now because this is a sterile cap. But after using this, always take alcohol and clean that. Okay? So 200. Just take this off. Stick it in there like that. Shoot the 200 air in, and then just flip it over. And with the pressure, you can see it pushing down, but it just helps with bubbles. You don't have to do it, but it kind of helps. So I'm helping it go down, and I'm gonna go a little bit further because I know I'm gonna have some bubbles up here. I know I'm gonna have to.
So it's important to get all those bubbles out before you.
Yeah, and you might have little tiny bubbles, but really the main one is you might see one a big bubble right in the middle there. It's a bigger one, but you're gonna have smaller bubbles. But the least amount of bubbles, the best. All right, so we're at 200. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Take that out. All right.
And you said that holds 1,000, right?
This is 1,000.
Okay.
Yep. All right. So go ahead and
Five-
read that for me.
5 servings if you want to
Fill a new pod with 100 unit. Okay. So you just put that needle.
Yep. So you see that little arrow
Yeah.
right there? But this needs to be over here. So what I like doing is, and this is what I do with my PDM, I like sticking mine here, you know, right on the top.
Okay.
That way the communication's good. You don't have to do that, but just like that. Hear that beep beep?
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Cool.
So it just automatically activates it when you put it
Yep.
in? Oh, okay.
And you'll hear a you should.
And that needle is one time use only.
One time use. Yep.
Okay. Be careful because it's glass.
So how
Yeah,
long,
that's
how
right.
long,
You hear
how long
that?
would that, how long would that 200 last to eat?
Or listen.
So it's
3 days.
3 days, okay.
So it's priming. So you know, basically what it's doing is, you know, it has a kind of a canister in there, and it's holding that holds that insulin. So it's priming, getting all the pressure out and ready to be able to bolus. So it's a self-priming thing.
So is there like a specific amount of time you're supposed to wait before you can use the pod? Like eat? No? Okay.
No, I mean right when you put it on,
Okay.
you can use it. Right when you put it on, it starts giving you your basal.
Okay.
So, you know, once you activate that pod. Now, what time did you?
We're just gonna.
Yeah, what time? Because we'll do a temporary basal. We'll shut it off. What time did you take your Levemir?
It depended on what time I did dinner. It would range from like 11 or 8 to 11.
When did you do it last night?
Last night I did it at like, well, I was up pretty late last night, so around like 1:30 in the morning last night.
Why are you making this hard on me?
I'm sorry.
No, it's good. All right. Well, we'll figure it out when we put this on. All right. So let's read it. Well, here, go ahead and read it.
Preparing for inside cell. What's the cannula?
Cannula.
Cannula?
Yep.
It's like the needle.
So remove blue pod needle cap and check cannula. So basically you just take it like this, and this just pops off like that, okay? So you take it, pops off like that, and you don't see no cannula sticking out, because that's where the cannula is going to come out and be in your leg.
Okay.
You don't see nothing dangling, basically, is what it's
Okay.
saying. If it's out, then we can't use it.
Oh, okay.
Cannula is the needle that pops out of there?
What cannula is like, you know, like an IV,
Okay,
Like a
okay.
little-
and you know, it's a little plastic, flexible tube, basically. Now a needle does come out with the tube, but then the needle retracts and leaves the tube, just like an IV. All right, then remove paper backing, check pod, and then apply to site. So where'd you think about going?
Honestly, especially since my sensor is on this side, I would want like both of it on the same side, so I'd probably do it on my left thigh.
All right, here you go. So go ahead and clean your leg wherever you want. Listen.
Does he repair?
You can, you can do it. You know, I tell people general rule. You know, like this, right in the middle, knee, leg. But I'm telling you, man, I've used up here. I've used like 1 inch
Close to your knee.
from my kneecap, because I want to make sure I utilize everywhere.
Yeah.
Right now, mine's right in the middle. You know,
Right.
right in the middle of my leg, and I always say side of leg. You know, I'm a stomach sleeper.
Yeah,
So if
me
I
too.
have stuff like right here or right here,
That's
it just
why I
gets
didn't like
in
the
the way.
Dexcom, because usually I would have it right here, and I would always be like, I'm on my stomach or on my side, so like
Yeah.
it would be hard to like roll over and stuff. So
So yeah, just pick something on the side. And remember I told you about the round being up. You don't always have to do it, but just take it
Just
from
help.
personal experience. Telling you, man.
right.
Okay.
All right. So check pod after I take this stuff off. So this, you just got to be a little bit careful, because if you take this off and it folds over and sticks, it's going to be stuck.
Okay.
You know. So I tell people, just hold it like this. Take one piece off like that, and then grab the other side. Yeah, it's like, there we go. So just take your time. All right. So where'd you do it?
You just
All
swear
right.
on here.
All right. So this is the most important, okay? Because that's where the needle and the cannula is going to come out. So I tell people just put that down like that, and then go like that, and then you can rub around.
Yeah.
But what I tell people is, put pressure on here, because there's no needle or anything. It's not gonna hurt you yet. No, I'm just kidding.
Do you always apply it with the hair, or do you tend to shave the place you're going to put it so it has that seal?
I don't.
Okay.
But I shave my legs anyways, so.
Oh, okay.
Off record.
I was just saying, 'cause
Yeah.
when you go to remove it and stuff,
He
you're going
does
to be pulling
all
I would do
He
it
does.
sometimes
because
too.
you'll remove the hair when you're removing it
yeah,
too.
I don't
so.
really have to worry about it. But we do have people that that have it. So hopefully it'll stay. But let make sure that we got everything. All right. So.
And so you can go in a swimming pool in the ocean with that, and that won't come off.
Yep. I was just at the beach this weekend.
In like you're at the beach for 3 or 4 hours and you're good.
Yep.
What was that beeping?
So it's saying, "Come on, you're talking a lot." It's because we haven't actually set it up yet. Actually insert it. So it's saying,
so you're
"Alright, let's
taking.
go." Yep.
Yeah, gotcha.
All right, tap to start and insert cannula and begin your basal delivery. So remember, when you do anything, this has to be what?
5 feet.
Within 5 feet. So go ahead and press start, and you should hear ticking.
Okay.
So hit start. There you go.
Oh, that was.
Could you feel it go in?
Yeah, but it was very, very minor.
It's usually
Okay,
the popping noise that gets you.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, the
Because I heard-
sensor's way.
Because I heard that it was so painful. I was like, oh my gosh.
No, that didn't feel like anything.
All right. Is the cannula properly inserted? So the window on the top of the pod should be colored pink when the cannula is properly inserted into the skin. So you can see like a little
okay.
pink right there. But what I tell people is, you got your phone with you?
Yes, sir.
Turn on your light and look in this.
In there.
Yep, in that little window. I can see it. I don't know if you can. I can see a light blue line. That's the cannula.
A light
So-
blue line.
Yeah. So if you want to look in it, it might be easier if you stand up. And
Yeah,
you can,
sure.
and you can look down like that. Shine the light in that clear thing.
Oh yeah, I see
See
what
the
you're
light
talking
blue
about.
line?
Yeah.
That cannula straight in your skin. So that is
Okay.
a good cannula.
Cool.
All right. So it says, all right, is the cannula properly inserted? So you say yes. All right, your pod is set up, is complete.
So it's already doing basal.
Yep. So it's on right now. So we're gonna go.
That'll make you feel better.
Make you feel better.
Yeah,
Nice.
she always worries if I do my left hand.
All right. So here, you take this, and I'm gonna take mine, and we're gonna go through some stuff. Okay. And
Okay.
we're gonna show off that basal.
So, for the 5 feet thing, now that it's inserted, does it still have to be 5 feet or?
No. So only when you're bolusing.
Okay, so just when I'm
When
putting
you,
in stuff.
yeah, I mean, if you're like, hey, I'm gonna go out in the pool right now, you can leave that in the house.
Okay.
Go
Oh,
in the
okay.
pool.
Gotcha.
Go on the beach, whatever. But if you want to give any insulin, you're always getting your basal.